stop here, stick my sand flag on, and on we go. It's, depending which country you're in, about 10 past 9 or 10 to 9, 20 to 9. Sand flag on, and I can either go that way, 2 kilometres, and then over Big Red, or I can go this way over Little Red, 2 kilometres that way, and then just keep going. So that's what I'm going to do, the latter. Got the tyres are still deflated from last night, so they're at about 25, 26. I'll just see how I can go quite a bit lower than that, if need be, but the idea is going to be nice and gentle. Hopefully not too much stuff flies around. Little Red done, and that was not low range, that was just chilling. Nice. One down. Alright, so Big Red's behind me, and I'm went Little Red, didn't go up, but there's no one there at all. I've just seen 2 cars go ahead of me, so that's kind of good. I heard them on the UHF, so that's good. So this is our first little challenge, and kind of going to be a little bit interesting. So low range is in. I'm going to hold it so it doesn't go past 4th gear. RPM. That was alright. Not much throttle. There we go. Woo! First of many, and I'm going to keep the camera focused on me this time, make sure my head's all straight. So at the moment it's not too bad, but then you get these little bits, bumpy bits that go like, oi, oi, oi. Well, you've got to slow down to about 20 or so. The second one with facials. Momentum is kind of key. But you don't want too much right foot because you get airborne. Airborne's not good. Good if you've got wings, not if you've got wheels. There's a moment that you sort of get over the top and hope there's no one else coming, but with the guys being ahead of me, I'm pretty confident that I can still hear them, and so if they do come across someone, I will hear that. So that's kind of good. You can kind of see already looking at my little scan gauge that sitting here at 30 kilometers an hour at the moment, but I'm also sitting at about close to 20 litres to 100k, so you certainly chew through a little bit more fuel as you go along. This one's a sort of longer stretchy, so I'm actually going to take it out of low range. About here, there's no one behind me, so disengage low, it's off. Couple of cars ahead of me heading the same direction, but just had radio that there's a group of 4 coming east. So they've kindly offered to pull over while the 3 cars go past them, so that's nice. So
Is this about 2k between them or something? That's about another 3 or 4.
so that's all nice. And I'm actually still in high range, I'm not in low range, so it seems to be working okay so far. Just around momentum and keeping the wheels rolling, and working, sort of massaging the wheels through the little ruts. So I've got these guys in sight now, so I should be able to get past them okay.
Yep, there's just 3 of them. It's probably good we avoided this road.
This is one of the descents that you got to do. So just remember that I'm not in low range, I'm just in normal high range. But it becomes quite bumpy. You can't really go down faster than that. Well, you can if you're a complete idiot. But I just heard the people ahead of me, there's a couple, I think 2 cars, and the chap just said to the partner, I guess, behind him, saying, "Oh, you're going to have to give the berries up this one." Now I'm assuming that it's this one coming up here, so I'm going to video it and just see what happens, whether I'm going to backtrack, go back into low range. But yeah, it looks a little bit steeper than any of the other ones I've done so far, so I'm in second high. Different little bits here that we didn't see last time. It's obviously a waterway that created itself during the rains in between now and 9 years before. Make it interesting for the first cars to come through here. But obviously it's a bit of a floodplain, you can see a lot more trees and what have you, and right through the left and the right of me. One of the factors with the driving conditions is the time of day that you leave. So the earlier you leave, the more dew there still is on the sand, so it's not as powdery and a little bit heavier, and so driving through it's a little bit easier. But when you leave later, it gets powdery and it gets a little bit more challenging. So don't know whether this might be. This is the Air Creek. Oh, okay, so this is where the kids and us had lunch at times. I'm just going to swing the camera around a bit. We had lunch sitting right here. So I'm going to get out and take a photo, as is my want. So that's Lake Air. Sorry. So this is Air Creek, where I think it was pretty well here that we had lunch on our previous failed attempt, and I'm going to zoom in a bit over this way because there actually is still water there, so that's very recent water, lots of bird life. But anyway, happy days. Air Creek. So the fun thing here is, in Air Creek, is that I may actually have to engage low range to get up out of here on the other side, because it looks a little bit gnarly, but let's see how we go. So that's where I came out of, and this is where I'm going. So I might just go nice and easy first gear. I don't think I'm going to need low range. Flag just took a bit of a hit. That was alright, that was easy. The interesting thing with that Air Creek little crossing we had there is that, if memory serves, we had lunch at Air Creek, and it wasn't far after lunch. Bit of concentration here. It wasn't far after lunch that we turned over, so that must have been about 1-2 o'clock or so. And where I am at the moment, it's 9:38, so I suspect I've got a much greater chance of making it to Poeppel, being potentially, I don't know, 3 hours ahead of what we were 9 years ago. The smell of success. So this here looks interesting. Give it a little bit going up. That's second high. First high. Lots of anger from the car. Gee whiz, does not disappoint. Just to give you an idea as to the traction here, and hopefully don't make a dick of myself here, but I'm just going to go really slowly up here, just in first gear, really nice and easy. I hope to demonstrate the type of traction that you can have, not doing too much, so a little bit of right foot, not pushing it, not over revving. Oh, that's really not that hard. Nice and easy, rather than bouncing the crap out of the car and getting airborne and doing all sorts of damage. That was actually quite gentle. I just pulled over. I think I've done about 30k since the bottom of Big Red, if you will, but I had something banging around in the back, so it's my vertical grill hot plate that was banging between the cupboard and the fridge, so I've just put a bit of a mat there just to dull the annoyance. But yes, under the shade of a cooler bar tree, or well, this tree, making pretty good progress. I'm pretty happy. It's good. I'm pleased. Onwards, westwards.
These are kind of the annoying parts, where you've got in between the crests, you've got these swales, but they're soft, and so they're up and down, up and down, up and down like this, and you really can't do what I'm doing 20 kilometres an hour if I'm lucky in first gear. Kind of slows you down a tad. Whereas other times you're up to 40 to 50 k's up. So I've lost sight of the two cars that are in front of me, so they must be herbing along, but that's okay. It's not a race. It's my own race. I just got to get there. Officially entering the Mungathiri National Park. So to
camp here, you need a permit, which I have. Costs all of $7. And just going to look at the HEMA, how far we've gone. You know what? No, that can't be right. Theoretically, I'm about halfway. No, that can't be right. We'll see. We'll see. Just recenter it. All right, here we go. National Park, Simpson Desert region. Let's do it. Yeah, mate.
You the third, Craig?
No, I'm one of one, but I know there's two behind me. Oh, there's a couple behind me. I'm not sure how far back. I haven't heard them for a little bit, but
They were apparently I've only seen two of them.
in the Raptors,
Yeah.
two flying along.
I've got two behind me, but
Okay.
we're super spread out.
Oh, okay.
There'll be a fucking F-150 Raptor with a caravan behind that as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Did you come from Poeppel?
Yeah.
How long did it take you from this morning?
Oh, we didn't come this morning.
Oh, okay.
We camped a little ways in. Probably like an hour this morning and an hour last night
Okay.
from Poeppel.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Not too bad.
Sweet.
Easy.
Good stuff. Cheers. So, I'm going to do this so you get a bit of an idea what it's like in here. Need to concentrate. Well, there's a smooth bit of road. I might just stick this on the end of the selfie stick and turn you around. So you kind of see what I'm seeing, I guess. Try and hold it steady there. Or not, evidently, I don't know. This is kind of the view that I get. See if I can't do that dune holding it already radioed in. And when you hear nothing for a few minutes, pretty well means that there's no one within earshot of you, which is at least 3 or 4 kilometres. That's a good thing. Yes, I'm going to knock it down to 3rd gear in a sec. Whew. This should be interesting. This is probably a taller one, I think. It's 2nd high. Bit of mojo. Jeez, I'm really impressed. Really impressed. Whew. probably the hardest one I reckon I've done. There was just a little bit more slippage than what I anticipated. And had to drop it all the way down to first high range, but got up there. So I'm keeping my window open because I like the fresh air in here, but it's actually warming up quite a bit. The sun, as you can see. Yeah, no air conditioning. It's 22 outside, which is, all right, it's very pleasant, but there's no breeze, or pretty well no breeze, and beautiful conditions. That was cool as I was about to come up that crest. There was a call came over. There's another guy coming over, and so I saw him, had a visual pretty quickly, and pulled up next to him. Was a young kid with his dad on his L plates, learning the hard way. Bloody good to see. Nice example. Salt pans here, I'd say. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Jeez. I reckon when that's moist, you crunch right through, and it'd be like spag bol. It'd be just absolute mess. All kinds of trouble. One thing I don't think I mentioned was that while this car is, it's a lovely car, I love it, love my car, you know I do, it's not new, it's 13 years old, so that said, it's got a couple of sort of really nice things about it, not just a twin turbo V8 diesel, but it's got stability control stuff. Now the issue with that is, what that does is that it's like a traction control. When it senses that your wheels are starting to spin, it sort of backs them off a little bit. Now that's okay under normal conditions, but out here, when you're trying to maintain your momentum, you need to actually keep the wheels spinning. Sometimes that means that it gets a little bit manky, but you've got to turn the stability control off. In my mind, that's just what I do. Is what you don't want to do is when you're just about to reach the top and you're going to give it a little bit more pedal, a bit more right foot, you do not want it to stop spinning. You want it to keep spinning, keep the momentum going. So that's that one. But secondly, this is a real soft one. This is going to be fun getting up. Anyway, the other thing is I actually don't know the difference. I haven't really noticed much difference, but it does have a center diff lock. So it's not a diff lock where it locks the front or the back differentials. It locks the front and the back together so they rotate at the same time, which theoretically, I'm sure someone will be able to YouTube it. It gives you better contraction. It gives you contraction, so hopefully I'm not too dilated. Gives you better traction and balances that traction out between the front and the rear. Theoretically, that's a good thing. So I've just turned that on to see whether it makes any difference. I think the turning the vehicle stability control off, the VSC, is probably more beneficial. But then if you had front and rear diff lockers in this scenario, they'd actually, if you got a little bit stuck, that would actually be really good, because it makes sure that the wheels on the left hand side and the right hand side, whether the front and back, are locked together. So if one gets airborne, the other one will keep turning, as opposed to having the one in the airborne spinning and the other one doing nothing. So I think diff lockers are a good thing in the front and the rear. In the middle, meh. But you know what? I've turned it on, the little thing's on the dash, and I feel better. I feel more of a man. No, that's a lie. I don't. Anyway, nearly, it's 12:30 somewhere. 10 past 12 here, I think. 10 past 12. So, geez, I've made really good time. So I'm guessing I'm probably, I don't know, I'm going to call an hour. I reckon I'll be there in about an hour and a half. So theoretically about, depending which clock I go on. Clock on the dash says 12:12, so hour and a half will make it about, what's that, whatever that is, 1:42. So let's just see whether I'm right. 1:42. Let's round it off at 2 o'clock. Theoretically, I should be at Poeppel Corner. So that would make it, I think, I'll have to check, but I think it'll make it about 6 hours. I haven't had a break, but I'm not particularly hungry because young Andrew sent me off with a fantastic bacon and eggs breakfast. So that was good. That was actually good because it was hearty. My belly feels full. I've got plenty of energy. I've been keeping hydrated. Don't you worry. I'll keep hydrated. There you go. You happy? Okay. Pop quiz. Middle of the Simpson Desert. What's my altitude? What's my altitude? Simpson Desert. I don't know. Hard to tell. Well, at this exact point in time, my altitude, so how far above sea level I am, is 26 meters above sea level. That's not very high. It's not very high at all. 26 meters, geez. That's like a small high-rise building. So I'm still near these salt pans, and I'm thinking to myself, well, as I said, it's like in some countries it'd be 12.23, in other countries it'd be 12.51 or 53. But I'm thinking I might actually stop, have a bit of a break, have a bit of a lunch. I was going to go all the way, but I think it just looks so nice that I think I'm actually going to throw the drone up into the air and just see, well, check whether the batteries are charged up. If they're not charged up, I'm going to stick the thing on charge while I'm driving. If they are charged up, I'm going to send it up and just see what it looks like from down here on planet Earth. Here's somewhere I can pull up. Yeah, baby. Perfecto. Yeah, baby. Done. Okay, so decided, you know, plans change. That's what happens. So somewhere it's 1 o'clock. It could be here. Could also be 1:30. So I've had lunch. Just pulled over a little spot here. Had lunch. Through the drone up in the air. Took a little bit of footage, but there's a couple of little funny things. So if you're not logged in, it restricts your height, the altitude to 30 meters. So you have to maybe try and work that out tonight. Anyway, I got a little bit of footage from 30 meters, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going west. Go west. The kind of interesting thing at the moment here is that the dune formations are much shallower, so they're not as high as they were previously, so up to a couple of kilometres ago. So we're sort of a relatively flat section, despite what the camera might look like. Previously it was like long, you know, up to a kilometre in the middle of the swales, and then you'd have a fairly high dune face that you have to run up here at the moment. It's kind of like this has been going on for probably 2 kilometres or so. So there's no real sand dunes. It's just like, you know, little hillocks like this. Woo! So kind of interesting. I'm not sure whether this is how it continues, but let's see what happens over the next hill. Yep, pretty well more of the same. So kind of interesting.
I could have.
Now, I think I might be wrong, but there wasn't a signpost up there. There were 2 poles where a signpost would have been, and I think I'm in the Northern Territory. That's correct. The Northern Territory. I think I'm in the Northern Territory. So at one point as you're going, it's not exactly due east, you kind of go ever so slightly west, ever so slightly northwest as you're coming across the Simpson. And you cross over the, this is actually, I'm going to stop you, I'm going to have a bit of a look at this in a sec, but you cross over the border into Northern Territory, and then you at some point somewhere down there you end up taking a left that takes you down to Poeppel Corner. But right now I'm going to turn the camera around because there's this amazing expanse of salt plains. Check this out. Wow, stop it. Crazy. I can tell you right now, I ain't deviating off that track. No way. Alrighty then. Let's do this. I'm not sinking into anything, so that's probably a good sign. But you can see it's actually still quite moist under there. So at this point, it's Poeppel Corner to the left. If I go straight, you need the Northern Territory Desert Barks Pass, which I do not have. So quick photo of my car next to the Poeppel Corner sign. Hay River Track is to the right. Poeppel Corner to the left. God knows what straight ahead. So let's have a look at getting a little pick, I reckon, a little pick. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the memory serves, I said I'd get to Poeppel Corner at about 2 o'clock, I think. Scroll back and see. 20 to 2 now, by that clock. It's only 20 to, hang on, what? Yeah, it's the same time. Oh, okay, so maybe I've gone through a different time zone or something again. So, yeah, 20 to 2. UHF 10 in the Simpson Desert, the sign says. pretty cool. So at the moment I'm actually running very rough over some corrugations. Running parallel alongside this great big watercourse, this salt pan, I guess it is, because it's white. I mean, you know, if it's white, it has to be salt. So this is really, really cool. I'm going to spin it around.
You're so good, but not for me. Don't try to be a person you'll never be. Can't say we're different, but it's not a secret. Every time I see you, I wanna say, I don't want to love you, don't want to fight, I don't want to talk all night. Please, please forget my number. I wish I would love it on the love.
Now look, I've just stopped. Tell me that does not look like a beautiful beach out there, eh? How's that? Surely. Gonna do some surfing or something, eh? Probably not. Alrighty. Coming to the end of this salt pan. What does the sign say? French line, that way. Apradina, something, something, something. Dalhousie Springs, that way. Poeppel Corner, that way. In other words, don't go the other way. So, to my left now is the Warburton Crossing. To my right, the way we came back, where we came was the Birdsville. And we are going to Poeppel Corner. Whoop. The excitement! Whoop.
I could have. I could have.
Case, overshot it by 10 minutes. There you go. Mission accomplished. Poeppel Corner. Right now I'm in South Australia. I think I'll head over to Queensland. Done. Hang on. I forgot something in Northern Territory. Done. Back to South Australia. Done. How good is that? The tri-state border. Fantastic. Young couple here in their two control, what are they called? Rages, Raptors. They just came smashing past me an hour or two ago. They're here and they're gone. So right now, at this moment in time, I am on my own, about to run around naked for about half an hour. Sunburn, can't do that, irresponsible. Totally irresponsible. So there they go, they're off. Two dudes there. I'm down here and a little bit of a look around. I'm just not sure what this post is here. Like, what's the point of this? I don't quite get it. It's just sort of like a concrete post. Maybe it's sort of plastic shit. No, it is. It's a plastic sort of stuff. Like a monolith in the middle of nowhere. Aliens. That'd be it. So I'm going to have a bit of a quick little bit of a look around here, a bit of a drive around. Looks like there's oh, a bit more than Zolio sending a message or receiving a message. I'll check that in a sec. There's obviously you can camp around here, but I'm guessing that there's quite a few options. Why is that happening? That's why, right. So I might just have a bit of a look around, see what the go is, where I might want to pitch my little abode for the night. With some luck, I might actually find some firewood. I reckon I will. I reckon I'll find some firewood, gather it up, have a bit of a chill out fire.
I could have. I could have.